Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I want to show you how I made this 3 envelope mini journal. I guess the best way you can put it. And basically, I just took 3 envelopes and decorated them, and I'll show you in just a moment. And I used a combination of Tim Holtz Wildflowers, I think it's the Wildflowers or something like that. And then I also used some of my digitals on my Ko-Fi. I used the Old Time Headlines, the Vintage Whimsy Fussy Cut, Summer Garden Fussy Cuts, Freebies, Wings and Wildflowers, and the Grungy wax seals. And I'll have a link in the description where you can access some of those. Most of them are freebies, and then one of them, the Wings and Wildflowers, it's a small price too. But yeah, so we have this little belly band right here, and here's that little wax seal, one of the wax seals that I used, and I just added some resin on there. I don't know if you can see it. My lighting isn't very good, but and I just turned this into like a what do you call it, like a little dangle. And I just used some stamped images, and just these came from the my other digitals right here. And then you just have this right here. This one's from my Old Time Headline, and it's just a page that you can use to journal on. And then I just added this tag in here. And this has a magnetic closure, so it's magnetized like right in here. Well, kinda. There we go. So, and then I just have like some die cuts, and I have my lighting isn't very good at all. But anyway, you can, I don't know how well you can see that, but I added to that little lemon, I just added some resin to it, just to kind of give it a little shine. And then I added some stamped and fussy cut, and then other fussy cut out images. So you have a pocket here, of course, because these are the 3 envelopes. And then this is also like a little tuck spot right here. Let's put this here. And then this is from the Wings and Wildflowers kit. And I just fussy cut out that image, and then just turned it into like a little small journaling spot. And then here's some more little fussy cuts from the same digital. And you've got like the little bee, the flowers, and the honey, and the honey on the spoon, honeycomb, little hive you have. And then we have a little journaling spot. And then this little tuck spot, and then this opens, and this is also like a magnetic closure. And then of course you have your pocket right there. And then back here you have your little tuck spot. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this really simple process. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to start out, you're going to need 3 envelopes, and I'm using some 5 3/4 inch by 5 3/4 inch envelopes. Let me make sure. Let me put this in frame. Yeah, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you need 3 of those, and then you're going to need 3 5.5 by 4 inch little papers. Let me make sure this is oh, I did 5. Well, I did 5 by 4, so it could still work. But yeah, that'll work actually even better. And basically all I'm going to be doing is just gluing these on the inside of the envelope. And yeah, I'm going to do each one like that. And then you're going to need 3 5.5 by 5.5 pattern paper. And basically that's just for this wide side over here. You're going to, for the 3 envelopes. So let's go ahead and glue these on. And I think I'm just going to use some paste. And you're also going to need some magnets. And I'm just using some, I think these are like 8mm magnets. I got these off of like eBay or somewhere. And because basically what I'm going to be using it for is when we connect our envelopes together, I'll need a closure, because this will go like this, and then this will go like this. So I'm going to need one here, and then I'm also going to need one here. So I'm going to go ahead and you got to be careful because they'll break. I've had some that broke in half. When you take them apart, make sure you slide them like so. Don't let them get stuck together because they'll break like that. Okay, and what I usually do, well, first let me go ahead and finish what I started, which was putting our paper on here. So I'm just going to take some paste, and I'm just going to paste the inside of the envelope. And it doesn't have to be coffee dyed. You can use any size envelope, any style, pattern, whatever. It doesn't have to be solid. You can use a pattern envelope if you like, but and then maybe use a solid sheet on the inside, you know, or however you want to do it, you know. So we're just going to stick this in here. I'm just going to line this up just right. Alright, so now we've got like our little backdrop, so that, you know, you can kind of still see down in there, and it's not just kind of dull looking, you know. Alright, so the way these are going to get assembled, you got 3 of them. So this flap is going to get glued to this one. So I think I'm going to get started on gluing my flaps, and then I'll put my, what do you call it, magnets on. So basically all I'm going to do, and you can use glue, you can use paste or some other type of glue, or however you want, whatever you want to use to glue your flaps together. So I'm just going to line them up like so, and then I'm just going to flip this basically over top of that flap that's already on here, you know, because your envelopes have 2 flaps. It has this one that's glued, and then this one that's not glued. Alright, so we've got this one. This first one was glued on the top. And then you have, well, I thought it was glued. I think I'm going to use some art glitter glue because this is taking a little bit too long to dry. And I don't know how sturdy it's going to be. It's using the glue stick with like really thin paper, like a book page, the way I used it on the envelope, that's fine because the paper is very thin. But since this coffee dyed envelope is a bit thicker, I don't want to take a chance of it coming apart with just this paste. I mean, if I let it sit long enough, the paste probably will work, but I'm just not going to take that chance right now. Alright, so we've got these. So the flap, this flap went on the front of this envelope. Now this flap is going to go, I should have did it the other way, which is fine. Since that went on the front, I want this one to go on the back. This one should have went to the back. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to add some glue, some art glitter glue. And I'm just going to put this one here. And I'm going to leave like a 1/16 of an inch of a gap from where I'm putting this envelope on versus where this little crease is. That way it has room to fold over. So by putting the flap on the back, putting this flap to the back of this, that goes in pretty easily. And by putting this middle flap on the inside, it helps this kind of come over pretty easily. You know what I mean? Without it getting too bulky. So now we have our opening. And there are different things that you can do. You can add some journal pages, which I might do. I don't know. Anyway, right now I want to create a closure. So like I said, and this is going to open and close. So, what I should, you know what I should have did? I could probably still put like a magnet right there. And I think, well, I'll probably put one right along in here. Or maybe no. Yeah, that's fine. Well, yeah, I'll just put another piece of paper over top of that, because I do want that to close as well as this part up here. So basically I'm going to put 2 magnets on here. And what I'm going to do to make it stay is I put my masking tape. I mean my, whatever this tape is, Scotch tape. And you don't have to do it this way. There are different ways you can do it. But I'm just going to take a piece of Scotch tape, put it in place right here. I'm going to be covering this up anyway. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put another one like further down in here so that this part can, let's see. Yeah, so this part can glue down. So, let me put that there. Sometimes it's easier to put the magnet directly onto the tape so you can place it specifically where you want to, because if not, it's prone to move around and that can get quite annoying. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of masking tape and I'm going to turn it upside down. And then I'm just going to put the magnet on top of it. And then I'm going to lay it. You want to make sure that it's turned on the right side, because you know the magnets have 2 different side fields on them. One pushes it away and one is the magnet towards it. So it fits directly over top of it. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with the other one. Let's put this here. Lay that. I turned it the wrong way. Let me make sure I turn it the correct way. Make sure it's centered. And let's put that there. Well, actually, I'm going to put. Wait a minute. I'm going to put this one here. And then I'm going to put this one, hold on, I'm going to turn this one back over this way, here. And then I'm just going to lay it down right here. That way when I go to close it, it'll be in its right spot. It's already right there where it needs to be. So it gets the magnetization. It gets it right there, and then it's also going to get it right there. So you don't have to worry about it falling open. And then we're going to cover these up. For this one, I think I'm just going to get another book page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up against the edge. I'm going to trace around it. And then I'm going to bring this over probably about halfway, well, at least like a 1/4 of an inch over. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to cut it out. Hopefully it's going to fit. We shall see. And this is an option. You can round it off. Well, I don't know if I can round it off. Let me see. I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to see if I can round that off. I don't know if I can do that. I can probably take the scissors to it. Or just leave it. I'm just going to leave that part. I think that'll still be okay. Even though it's doubled like that, it'll be okay. It's going to have to be. Alright, so we're just going to distress this and glue it on. Okay, so now it's in, now it works. You have your little snap there, and then you snap over there. Alright, so now what you could do, and what I may do, is just to add a little extra protection just to make sure that this is going to stay where it's supposed to stay. I think I'm going to add an additional piece of tape. Magnet on here, because when I put I'm going to cover that little part right there up, I suppose. Yeah, I'll have to do something. I'm going to make sure that when I put the cover over this, that we'll still have enough magnetization to keep that closed. So yeah, I'm just going to add one more magnet. Alright, so now we're good. And so all I have to do is just cover that up. So now I need some, I think I'll use that scrap paper, this leftover scrap paper here, and cover that up. And I'm just going to glue it on there. and then cut around it. Okay, so now we've got that. Yeah, we got that, and then this goes here. Well, we know for sure that we're going to put these, we're going to cover all three of these up with pattern paper. So let's go ahead and glue all these on there. Okay, so we've got all three of these on so far. And now it's the fun part where we get to actually decorate. And I'm going to be using some of my Ko-Fi kits. This is the Grungy wax seals. And then this one is Wings and Wildflowers Nature Inspired Digital Kit. This is, all these are also from Ko-Fi. So I'm just going to cut out some of this, and we're going to be using this in combination with some stamps and other little specimen slides and things like that. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my stuff, my embellishments and things cut out, and some of them I idled up. And I'll have a link in the description to show how I did some of them with like resin and embossing and things like that. So what I want to do is, I think I will turn this here. This will be a journal insert, and I think I'm going to also make this a mini journal insert, and they're going to go here. So what I'm going to do is, let me just go ahead and put these together. I love how they sound with the magnetic closure. I'm just going to take these, and we're just going to I'm just going to add a variety of stamps on there. No rhyme or reason. This one is Bow Bunny. I forgot what it's called, but it's got like different textures and things like that on there, like crackle and whatnot. And I'm just going to add some to both of these, just randomly, just add some on, changing the colors to green and yellow. And this is an easy way. If you don't have pattern paper, you can just take some white paper and then create some patterns. Just take some, if you have a texture stamp, this is perfect for that. And then I'm just going to go around it with some brown Distres Oxide ink. And all these are Distres Oxide inks. This one's Peeled Paint, Fossilized Amber, and Vintage Photo. And I've also been using some Archival Jet Black. So I'm just going to distress these around the edges. This is just some regular coffee dot paper that I already have, that I made. So I'm just going to cut this down to 5.5. And then I'm just going to fold it in half, and it'll fit in there. Let's see, this is, what is this? 2 3/4. So 2.5. Let me cut it down. 2.5. I'm definitely going to keep these pieces of paper. That fits perfectly. So I think I should, well, I would staple it, but I threw my staple gun away, so I guess I'm gonna have to stitch that. I want to stitch these papers in, and then for this one, I think I'm just going to stitch and make this like a, I'll put like a clipboard topper over that and stitch going across. Okay, so I have that stitched in, and then I have that stitched in. So we have this like a little journaling spot, 2 journaling spots. So now, I'm sorry that this thing I keep bumping up against this thing. I'm just going to add some random stamps on here. First I'm going to be using black. I'm going to use some jet black ink. I'm just going to add a little bit of that crackle, some of that same stuff that I used in here in my little journal pages or whatever. And this is just to kind of decorate this so it doesn't look so bland, like it's not supposed to be there, you know what I mean? Okay, so I think I'm just going to take a little piece of this paper, this I do like that. I think I'm going to fussy cut like part of it out. Like where the flower is, and this is going to be like a side pocket. Let me get some smaller scissors. Okay, so that's for the inside so far. And then this is going to be on the outside. I'm definitely going to need some type of decoration. I think, do I want to use a lemon or do I want to use this? I think I'm going to use this. I like that. And I think I'm going to turn this into a, what do you call it? I'm gonna put a brad or something in here. Let me turn this like this first. And I'm just gonna put a hole in this one so that it can go in there as well. Then I'll put a hole in this. And it doesn't have to be in the middle. There we go. I can turn it. I wish I would have turned it at first. Still might be able to. I don't know. Okay, and then it can hang, it can kind of, So I think I'm going to make a belly band. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what's the front and what's the back. I guess this will be the front. Just to open up like this, and then like that. Yeah, this will be the front. So I think I'll make a belly band for the front. And now I finally completed it. And I did decide to go ahead and do a little bit of stitching on here. Couldn't help myself. So we have our little dangle and our belly band right here. And I did add some tags and this little newspaper clip or journal writing spot. And then we've got, just open this up like so. And then we have a pocket here. And then this is also a pocket. I should have put something there. And then we've got our journal writing space with Crop-a-dile paper. And then we have a little pocket right here. More journal writing space. And got us a little pocket right here. And a tuck right here. I think I should probably just take this out. Put this here, that way I don't forget. And then back here we have that little tuck spot. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And be sure to check out the Ko-Fi site where you get the free digitals, which is where I use the Wings and Wildflowers nature-inspired digital kit. And then I use the old time headlines. And then I also use the Grungy wax seals and then a little bit of the Summer Garden Cuts freebie. So, yeah. Go check out Ko-Fi and you can get your free digitals, and just stay tuned for other freebies and things like that. So once again, I thank you guys so much for watching.